be looking at so many kinds of problems. And before we talk about the different problem-solving strategies, we need to talk about the best way to solve a problem. And there's a man named George Polya who came up with sort of this 4-step map, the problem-solving principles, to sort of help us approach each problem and give us a plan of attack for problem solving. So as I said, there's 4 steps. The first is you need to be able to understand the problem, then devise a plan, carry out the plan, and look back. So let's talk about each of these steps. So Polya's first principle is to understand the problem, and this is one of the most important steps. You can't solve a problem if you don't actually know what it's asking you. So here are some questions you can ask yourself when you're trying to figure out if you understand the problem. Do you understand all the words used? Maybe there's a word in there you don't know and you need to look it up. What are you being asked to find or show? This is so important, okay? There will be a question in there. Do you understand what you're actually being asked to do? What are you being asked to find? What are you being asked to show? Can you restate the problem in your own words? Because if you can, you probably do understand what you need to accomplish. Is there yet another way to state the problem? Can you put it in other words? Is there extraneous information that does not matter? You can cross out. What do you really need to know to find a solution? So what in that problem do you need to know and use to find that solution? So before you can attack a problem and pick a strategy, you need to make sure that you understand that problem. So that's the first step. The second principle is to devise a plan. Carefully consider the problem and think of a possible approach to finding a solution. And this is where you're really thinking about what problem-solving strategy you should be using. Be aware of different problem-solving strategies and choose one to make a start on the problem. And as we go through each of the problem-solving strategies, you'll start to get a feel for when you should use which strategy. As experience is gained, choosing an appropriate strategy becomes increasingly easy. Basically, what that means, you guys, is the more you practice these problem-solving strategies, the better you'll get. The more you practice solving problems, the better you will get at choosing an appropriate strategy. But it's only going to get easier with practice. So once you've picked an appropriate problem-solving strategy, now we can move into the third principle. You're going to carry out that plan. You're going to try that strategy to solve your problem. So attempt to carry out the plan. If it doesn't work out, try again. If it still doesn't solve the problem, modify the plan and try yet again. So maybe you try this problem-solving strategy and it doesn't work the first time, so you alter a little bit and it's still not working. Pick a different strategy and try it that way. Don't just give up. The key to math, you guys, is to just keep trying and practicing. Don't be discouraged. This is the way mathematics is done, even by professionals. I have to scrap my work all the time and try something new. Okay, guys? A lot of times what happens is people will try one way. They'll try just the one way. It doesn't work, so they'll throw their hands in the air and they say, I don't know what to do. Well, the key is try something different and keep practicing and keep trying. It's the only way to get better at anything, really. Think about a baby. When a baby starts to walk, as a parent, the first time they fall, when they're trying to walk, we don't throw our hands up in the air and say, oh, I guess the baby isn't going to walk. That's it. They tried one time and it didn't work out. No, we encourage them to try different things, right? Okay, this time, try holding onto a table and walking. Okay, now that you've got that down, try pushing a walker and walking. All right, now try walking. And eventually they'll get it, right? No parent has ever thrown their hands in the air and said, I guess my baby just isn't going to walk. They just needed to modify, try some different strategies, practice, and they got there. It's the same thing with problem solving. It's the same thing with really any problem you're trying to solve in your life, not just in math. All right, so it might not be easy to not get discouraged, but try to remind yourself that, okay, this way didn't work. I learned something. Now let me try something new. So that is the third principle. Carry out the plan. Keep trying. Tweak it if you need to, like with anything else. And then, of course, the fourth and last principle is to look back. Analyze your thinking. What was the key factor that allowed you to devise an effective plan to solve the problem? So when you think about, you look back and you think about what you did, you'll learn something and you can apply that to other problems that you come across in the future. Can you think of a simpler, more effective, or more powerful strategy for solving this problem? You know, maybe there's even a better way. So always look back, analyze your thinking, and always try and think about what you've learned from doing it, all right? For what other problems could this plan of attack be effective? Okay, where else could you apply these strategies? Okay, so remember, whenever you're solving any type of problem, to use Polya's problem-solving principles. First, make sure you understand the problem. Try and put it in your own words. Make sure you understand what's being asked of you before you devise a plan. Then devise a plan. Pick a problem-solving strategy, okay? And we're going to learn a bunch of them. Carry out that plan. So use that problem-solving strategy. If it doesn't work, try again. If it doesn't work, pick a different problem-solving strategy, but don't give up. Don't get discouraged. You can do it. You will learn so much more if you keep trying. And of course, last but not least, look back. Think about what you learned. Think about how you solved that problem. Ask yourself, could there have been a more effective way? Where else could I apply this problem-solving strategy? Always analyze your thinking. Go back and analyze your thinking. And you know what's really powerful about these problem-solving principles, you guys, is you could really use them for any problem you have in life, okay? So understand the problem, devise a plan, carry out the plan. Don't be afraid to tweak the plan. It's part of the process. And look back and think about what you did and where else you can apply that in your life, or how you could have been even a little bit more effective with it.